The journey of the entrepreneur is a profound and a wonderful journey.
I didn't want to work for anyone else. I wanted to work for myself.
Hi, I'm Mike Caslin, your host for Veterans Playbook.
I'm hearing a lot of assets from your military experience.
I initially started Battlefish to help other veterans, to help other people.
It's battle fishing good.
This is a series about veteran entrepreneurs driven by their passion and purpose to create peace and prosperity for themselves and their community.
We just grew 20% in the last probably 3 months.
You've been heroes, national security heroes.
I've been mortared, I've been shot at.
Now it's time for you to become economic heroes. We're going to be using the Entrepreneur's Playbook, written by Professor Len Green, member of the Babson Business Hall of Fame, philanthropist, author, and serial entrepreneur.
Find a problem out there, solve it.
We want to ignite your passion and your social entrepreneur within.
Everywhere I went, you could never find this style of pizza anywhere.
Most people see an abandoned building as just waste. We see it as an opportunity.
Welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of Veterans Playbook. Each episode has featured an outstanding veteran entrepreneur, and this is the capstone of our series. For active military and veterans considering starting your own business, you need to know two things. As a result of your military service, you have developed many of the strengths you need to become a successful business owner already. You may be lacking knowledge of how to start and run a business, but there are vast resources you can tap into to help you come up to speed quickly. We call this the Veteran Entrepreneur Ecosystem.
The Army taught me to overcome adversity, so when times got tough, they don't seem so tough anymore.
I would argue that leadership is probably the biggest skill set that we get from the service.
Resilience and the ability to operate in a stress-inoculated environment.
So my success as an entrepreneur really went back to when I was a first responder and gained that resilience and that ability to speak to anyone.
I think that's a lot of what the military teaches in leadership. They want to stress you out so when things get difficult, it doesn't seem quite so bad.
It's an executive level leadership, especially, I was a field grade officer. I learned things like delegation, and I think that's one of the hardest skills to learn.
Networking is so important.
Flexibility, attention to detail.
And you get to a point where your span of control is too big to be able to do everything yourself. I had enough captains that I couldn't micromanage them, even if I wanted to. I had to trust them, I had to give my intent and give them some guidance, and then be there, let them fail, support them.
There were points that I failed, I made the wrong decisions, and I had to step back and reevaluate and reorient myself and move forward.
When I started Gold Star Sailing, to actually file for and get a tax-free, the 501c3 status, that was a little bit tricky, and so I asked for help. And I always tell people, don't be afraid to ask for help. Get a mentor to help you walk through that process.
There is absolutely no way to grow a company without surrounding yourself with the right people, the right mentors, the right consultants.
I reached out to mentors of mine. I read an inordinate amount of books the year that I left the military and just try to absorb as much information as possible. But nothing will be a better teacher or a better educator than experience and going out there and making decisions, taking risk, but also being able to learn from those mistakes that you make or those successes and keep moving.
Starting a nonprofit or filing for an LLC, turns out it's not terrifying. Again, what's scary is the unknown, and if you can have somebody walk you through it, that's the benefit of having friends and mentors.
After I deployed to Afghanistan, Japan, and the Philippines as an infantry officer, the 1st Battalion, 8th Marines, I completed my 5 years, and I started saying, okay, what's the next move, right? I felt confident to bet on myself and pursue what was important to me. And so I burned the ships, moved to Newark.
From my experience as a non-commissioned officer and leading soldiers and kind of being on the front, that's what I wanted to do when I got out, and I knew that I didn't want to go, I didn't want to work with, I didn't want to work for anyone else. I wanted to work for myself, incorporate, any sort of military aspects that I loved and enjoyed into the cooking world.
So I got out of the Army and I didn't have anything to do. I was totally lost. And I brought my wife up to the Adirondack Mountains, and everybody kept talking about this college, Paul Smith College, Paul Smith College. And by the time we left campus, my wife and I decided, this is our life, we need to move, we need to start something new.
You don't want to hit it down, you want to hit through it. Eventually, I approached the city of Newark and said, hey, is there another space somewhere in the city where I could outfit into a free boxing gym? Got the thumbs up, and that became the Ironbound Boxing Academy.
Loaded up the truck, moved from Syracuse to here, and the rest is kind of history. Went to the culinary, graduated, top of my class.
Homes on the Home Front gave my wife and I a free home because of my military service. We took this home in Dansville, New York, with the stipulation that I had to do something to get out there and reintegrate myself and make the community a better place.
I'm not one to sit down with grief and wallow away, so I grabbed my husband's hand and I said, we will continue his mission.
Then last year, out of nowhere, he had a pretty bad headache, went to go up the stairs and collapsed. So I got him in the truck and I took him to the hospital, and they told us that he had a major stroke in his cerebellum.
So thankful for everybody in my life, whether it's my family, my kids.
We sat out here on the deck right after the funeral and we put together a mission, what was needed.
One time I was in the hospital bed, I woke up and my wife was beside me every waking moment, but then there's Pete. Like, it's not something that I expected, and you went as far as getting your guide's license to help me keep this thing going.
Eric was a person who loved people. That was the main focus of what we wanted to do for our programs. So we wanted to create that brotherhood and sisterhood that is so vital for our veterans when they come home.
Active duty military, are you locked and loaded on your civilian life career plans? Military spouses, have you found a career that travels with you? Veterans, are you on a path of passion and purpose? The secret to your career success and happiness is all about fit. Learn how to customize your career to your powerfully unique talent, passion, purpose, and values. Control your own destiny by launching your own business. Order these books now on Amazon or visit veteransplaybook.com. Many entrepreneurs learn things the hard way. Increase your chances for business success. Len Green has over 40 years of experience advising thousands of winning entrepreneurs. He shares their inside secrets and proven strategies so you can learn it all before you launch your business. Based on his popular course at Babson College, the book reveals 18 down-to-earth principles and proven business tactics. Read the book and get online feedback from Len. Order today on Amazon or visit veteransplaybook.com.
Since I was a kid, I always wanted to work in aviation, so I saw the opportunity to join the military. So it was Army at first, and I was an aircraft electrician. Then it just happened, and I was so excited.
I didn't want to work for anybody else at some point. It really opened my eyes. Running a business or starting something, whether it was getting into real estate or I didn't know what it was at the time, that was what was going to give me freedom and give me my opportunity to kind of have the life I wanted for me and my family.
Throughout my experience in training and going through it, thankfully I went straight through. No injuries, nothing. What I learned is that, and I was trying to figure it out myself, I was moving through, I befriended people, and they were absolute studs, mentally, physically, and in the first 2 days, they were gone. They would go ring the bell, and I was like, what is going on? And just watching the people and the traits and learning their backgrounds and where they came from, I started picking up on what really is this formula, right? And I started picking up that those people that have failed before are more likely to make it through. Because when they do fail, because BUDS is designed to make you fail over and over and over again, they're just looking to see how you react.
We have found Gold Star adults that lost a parent in Vietnam or in Korea that have found us. And they said, I want to help. Wonderful. what can you do? I can do anything but fundraise, or I've got a boat, or I can teach, or I can connect you.
There is somebody out there that loves to support sailing, right? And they're just waiting to find you. You just got to dig deep, right? And find that true believer.
So Mike, tell us about your book. Theoretically, all knowledge exists,
right?
But why did you have to create this?
So one of the frustrations with me when I was first starting my entrepreneurial journey was, what's the path look like for somebody starting a free amateur boxing gym? Emphasize the word free. In a lot of the business literature I read, I didn't feel a sense of agency. I read probably over 350 plus business books. I can count on one hand the number of them written by Black entrepreneurs, period, let alone Black veteran entrepreneurs. And one of the themes I was playing on is, a lot of times people love the superheroes, right? We love Black Panther, Wakanda forever. But the sad part is, superheroes don't really exist, but the closest thing we have are veterans, first responders, teachers, socially driven people.
There was a message that came out advertising the position with the Blue Angels. And I was reading the description for Blue Angel number 8, the events coordinator and squadron naval flight officer, and I was thinking, this is actually pretty cool.
From the beginning, it was, I'm not going to quit. They're going to throw me out or they're going to carry me out, but I won't quit. It was about having it in your heart and having it in your mind, not just about physical strength. Then I went to Korea. First job in the Army, I'm responsible for 82 people in a foreign country. Now, I had good officers who were keeping an eye on me. They wouldn't let me stray too far. I was allowed to fail. I was allowed to mess things up. And I learned how to take care of troops. I learned how to trust people. And I learned how to delegate, and it was all good.
Table 2. I spend more time with the people who work here than I do with my friends and my family. But one of the things that I do miss the most from the military and being in the Army is just that camaraderie and that bonding and that sense of closeness that you have with a bunch of people that come from all over the world and all over the United States, and that's why here, if I have 2 people that are equal on an application, I don't know what either of them look like or what their name is, but one of the applications says veteran. I want to prioritize bringing people in that have those core values and that structure that I know is gonna be someone that I won't have to look over their shoulder for very long.
The idea of helping others, to me, boils down to just having a purpose. So often you feel that those that are struggling with mental health issues, particularly the veteran population, they come from a line of service and they have a purpose and a mission every day.
1, 2, 3!
So what you see is a lot of veterans find healing in helping others because that's a new purpose for them. They're helping their brothers and sisters.
Located just north of New York City, Dutchess County is a gem along the majestic Hudson River. We are grateful to the more than 13,000 veterans who call Dutchess County home. Veteran entrepreneurs and volunteers make Dutchess County a special place, and they enhance our quality of life. We are honored to serve our veterans and their families at the innovative Veterans One Stop, where services, support, and camaraderie come together to make veterans' lives better.
You have something happening here at the One Stop Shop, vet to vet, that is very special.
The One Stop is really critical. What I like more than anything else is that this is a place that the vets can call their place.
And this is something that Dutchess County really invested in, and Dutchess County government and our legislator, making it all one stop, making everything under one roof.
They can meet with other vets, and there's a lot of camaraderie.
So for me, it's all about helping the other veterans. And even when I was in, I was like that guy that always helped everybody out,
So many people get out of the military and they don't even know what their available resources are for them.
And we have a housing program, an employment program. We try to get veterans out of their isolation.
And I think this sends a great message that we care about you. When you put your service in, we're here. You're not going to be forgotten.
And it's so nice because Mental Health America, of course, is very involved here. So they're able to have counselors and veteran peers.
What about entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so a lot of veterans that came that didn't have employment were very specific that they wanted to start their own business. Albany does have, the Department of Labor has a veteran that just does veteran entrepreneurs.
So most of the veterans that we end up meeting are coming to us and they're headed towards more of like a police career. And then we just help them prepare, getting ready for the exams, the physical fitness stuff, and keep them mentally prepared. And I find that they do a phenomenal job. These guys end up as town police officers, state troopers.
It's the little things, helping out a neighbor. Go down to the local VA, go down to, you know, the old people homes, go talk to those guys, see what they need. The little things matter.
All the strengths of coming out of the military can then be bridged over into the rigors of building a business. What's the end game for mental health in your mind after all this? You've got to deal with the president in the past. What do you see as a impact and outcome that makes you happy?
I think we're in a bad place. We got rid of the level of care that many people need if they're not seeking the help they need. We want to try new things because we don't know the answer. And the only way to try those new things is to have the financial support of the community.
So one of the reasons we wanted to talk to you is because we know veterans becoming entrepreneurs are very unlikely, or it doesn't really happen.
What I would say, is there's plenty of opportunities for active duty soldiers, for recently retired veterans to conceptualize and build innovative technology solutions to support current and future soldiers in the field. We want to see entrepreneurs, veteran entrepreneurs, to be successful. And so again, there are lots of resources out there. So one of the programs that I know that UAT is familiar with is the X-Tech program. So this program was started about 5 years ago, really as a way to bring in new small businesses, new entrepreneurs into the Army.
When you're active duty, you know your chain of command very well, but then you transition out of the military and that is lost. Everything is new. How do you navigate the new chain of command when you have this technology, you're an entrepreneur? It makes it very difficult.
Within the X-Tech program, one of the other things we offer is an accelerator which really provides mentorship opportunities, networking opportunities, help small businesses. We really strive to provide that opportunity for education and mentorship and help you find who your right customer is.
After all, it was thanks to you that we were able to grow together as a company.
And I'm happy that I was the enabler of you all getting an award with the Air Force.
Being a small business and getting into the military can be difficult, and you have to find champions that are going to work with you to get there.
Our theme tonight is grit and dreams. The grit and dreams that it takes to stay the course when times are tough.
Every veteran entrepreneur that we work with is an amazing inspiration.
It's been a pleasure to work with Mike and the rest of the team on Veterans Playbook. At the end of the day, I'm just honored to be able to represent the broader veteran entrepreneurial community.
I guess we had a tough year last year health-wise, and I'm just so thankful to be here.
We give people purpose, we give them something to look forward to and someone to share it with. So thank you, everybody.
Why do you do what you do?
Part of it, selfishly, is I just want to enjoy each day, however long we have on this planet.
It all started with my son, his second deployment in Afghanistan. There was a collision.
The idea of helping others, to me, boils down to just having a purpose.
The nights that you think you can't go any further, just remember why you're doing this.
Once a brother, always a brother.
I found that out here, it gave me a sense of purpose to teach people.
And, leading soldiers, that's what I wanted to do when I got out.
This is the culmination of a lot of hard work.
I always say that passion follows the path of least resistance.
So I think that's really what it is. It's about learning but leading and creating that camaraderie, creating that leadership. What is your why? What keeps you going?
We are having these skyrocketing rates of suicide in our veteran and first responder populations. And my brothers and sisters were dying all around me.
We have up to 16 to 18 million veterans. Every year, 200,000 active duty transition, and we have a race against time.
Okay, boys, down.
Drop it. Because there's like a 2.5-year window before people lose their well-being.
Up, forward, down.
And lose their hope.
As soon as I left, I started realizing that I'm gonna have to figure out ways to address this mental health problem because it was not getting better when I left.
But when they're in combat, when they're deployed, it is their person next to them as their brother and sister. So when they come home without that.
So I got out of the Army and I didn't have anything to do. I was totally lost.
I had a hard transition coming back home.
More than 20 veterans die by suicide a day in the United States.
I guess the last part of it is perception. It's all on how you look at your life.
Right.
Any door that closes could open another door, and you have to really look at it like that.
Let us go forth to lead the land we love.
Been very fortunate to go to a place like the Naval Academy, serve my country as an officer in the military, and then successfully transition out and start my own business.
We are trying to build a community, to create a family among our veterans and their spouses and children.
We're here for everybody.
You know, I didn't want to work for anyone else. I wanted to work for myself.
I initially started Battlefish to help other veterans, to help other people.
The values, the morals, people's integrity is so much different than in the military.
And once somebody feels connected, once somebody feels that there's a trust that's created, then the veterans and active duty members will come in.
Social ventures for sustainable communities is really what we're trying to inspire. We're finding great agents of change all across the country. I hope you're inspired by all the veteran venture stories that you've heard during Season 1. Each story has been a journey into their military experience, a transition to civilian life and entrepreneurship, and showcase the destination communities where they live, work, and make an impact. If they can do it, you can do it too. Business ownership is a path to fulfilling your passion and purpose, and a path to service where you can move the world to a better place. Until next time, I'm Mike Caslin, and this is Veterans Playbook.